everybody. This is our first instructional video in the light. We all want to know, how do we turn on our light to the highest frequency light available to us on the planet right now to work with? How do we do that? How do we make our connections in the light? This is an instructional video as to how to process new angular cellular white light bodies of light. There is quite a process in learning this delineation of timelines because it's all to do with thought. And thought materializes our wishes, our hopes, our dreams, our molecular cellular energies in this realm of time and space and Mother Gaia. We work with Mother Gaia. We live with Mother Gaia. We entreat her to help us when we are in need. So if we want more rain showers, if we want more energy to complete our course of light here, all of these wishes and desires and fruits of the knowledge of light come through Mother Gaia's energy light. She is a planet of light. We are reciprocal bodies of light. We're all feeding into the same biological bodies of light. And if we want to refrain with her light, we want to be on the same plane of light, we must learn how to refractor her higher light. So she comes from a higher body of light. She comes from a willingness to give us delight. She wants us to be happy and prosperous. She wants us to have multiple lines of time here to envision which light we want to refractor the most. She wants to help us to be clear of any anxiety and fear that have trailed along with us from our past lines of time. She knows how to operate in the divine wavelength of time. She knows how to prosper her own divinity line. She knows that we're willing to be supportive of her divinity line of time. And she wants us to be capable of moving along at a speed of light that makes us very bright. She wants us in our highest angular frequency body of light. This is how we work with one another in the realm of light, in the body of light. We are a frequency of the highest light. So to have a repository here of highest light, we must become, or becoming through and into, the higher angelic congruity. It's a congruity that is, it has an elastic field of light. So it can penetrate light, it can remove light. There's a momentum, a movement back and forth of higher light, higher frequency light, higher cellular motivation in the angular body of light, in which we all have a piece or a part of. It's like being a piece of the pie. We're a part of the puzzle pie. We all have a linguistic ability to chant certain lines of time into the repository on our darkest downline so we can lift it up. So it's a frequency, it's a rhythm, it's a rhyme. All frequency is less divine than what our Creator made for us. And all of our frequencies of time coordinate with these higher lines of time. There are divinity lines. They're traceable, they're trackable. We can find them even in the darkest of our night. So even when our light isn't very bright, we can trace these. We can find them. It's like a detective looking through a field of grass for little bits and clues as to the disappearance of someone whom they've been hired to find, who's gone missing. So when you are retracing or retracking to your highest divinity code of line, Mother Gaia steps in and helps us with our divine lines of time. Other beings of light come online as well. Other beings from other processes of other lines of time who've already been there, done that, and they know how to do it. They come online and they help us. So all of this singularity of the line of time becomes processed into a divine space and time where we're working with all of our lines of time. Mother Nature, Mother Gaia, Earth, planet Earth, supports us in doing this. She creates the liberty, the angelic line, the reprocessing line of time. She creates all these possibility timelines and wavelengths of time for us to be divine. If we come in from cross lines of times that were not divine, she helps us to reprocess into the higher lines of time. So we're all feeding in. It's like we're lines feeding in, like electrical lines, feeding into one socket of light. And we all turn very bright when we come from the highest light. So it's like you're having the highest light bulb possible being put into a particular lamp that you own. You don't want to go too high. You may cause an explosion, but you don't want to be too low either. You want to start processing up. So we're processing the higher lines of time, the higher lights of time. We are a divine line of time. That is our energy core. We are an energy that's been restored to our highest angelic core. We all have root chakras that demand of us much more. So we have the complacency, we have the traceability, we have the knowledge and understanding and free will, all on this planet. We can choose whichever way we want to be. So if we want to be complacent and just sit there and bide our time, that is an option. That is a choice. If we want to be more flexible and we want to be more in the groove and we want to track those higher lines of time, we can. Mother Gaia supports us all. Whatever our plan, whatever our goal, whatever our delineation in time, we know we can achieve it here and now. And we are prospering every divinity line of time that crosses her wavelengths of time. So there's a synergistic movement, a motion in time. And we're in a time wave continuum of light. All of our refractoring brings us back to the highest light. And this is where we want our connectivity to be. We don't want to reprocess the lower energies. We've already done that. We have found them to be lacking. But it was an examination in darker light. It was an exploration. It was an innovation to be able to be here in this time and space with Mother Gaia and the human race. it was like an obstacle race. You know, which one can transcend which line on which time? And then coordinate all of our efforts back to the mother line of time. That's Mother Gaia's line. To keep us refreshed and energized, we came along these reverberal lines of time into Mother Gaia's embrace, and she held us. She welcomed the human race to experiment along her lines of time so that we could learn what it's like to be less divine, mediocrely divine, and then to the offshoot of the highest divine line of time. And we're here by choice. We made that decision. We gave it voice. So we worked with our root chakra to gain ground through Mother Nature, Mother Gaia. And we brought that all the way up to the heart chakra to embrace the light, to feel that love frequency of light. And we brought it to the throat chakra and we gave it voice. It was our choice. And now we've come up through the third eye mind, the pineal awareness awakening time. And we're now in the divinity line of time because we've reprocessed the higher mind. And the higher mind sees the energy that is divine. So we're all processed through a higher line of time. For those of us who came on board later in the line of time, because there are different juncture points where we can kind of slip in and maneuver ourselves and so on and so forth, try different lines of time. Some of us came in a little bit later than others. Some have lingered longer than others here. Others have retraced their steps to other past lifetimes that weren't very divine. And others are reprocessing themselves onto their higher divinity lines of time. So they will move off planet very soon, sooner rather than later, than most of us. But you see, we're all being given this opportunity to be in whatever line of time we deem sublime, because that's where we want to reside. That's the plane of reference that we want to be on, that we want to experience light. So to feel your frequency turn on very bright, you must become a member in the time of light. And we all know where we've come from and where we're going to go. That's been reprocessed a long time ago. But it's remembering those codes of light. And for those of us who have downloaded them from our higher insight, we already know which way is right for us, which code to envelop in our higher insight. These are the light cellular energy codes of light that turn us on. So it's like putting the key in the door. It's been locked, and now you've been away from home, you locked your front door when you left, and now you're back. And you put that key, you still have the key, you put the key in the lock in the front door, you know it's going to turn, and you know you're going to gain entry into your house once more. Even though it's been a long time, you've been away for a long time. There might be small cobwebs and some dust to clean off, but basically you know it's going to be in the same state as when you left it. So you walk in through your front entry door and you see everything. You remember it as it used to be. That's what it's like, lighting up your memory codes. Your memory, angular cellular body refrains a new It's like a new strain of light, a new way of being to you. There've been downlines of time which you haven't processed in a very long time. Those memory codes are pretty much gone. They're obsolete, in other words. They've been encoded in higher lights, so they're encapsulated on truth lines of time. But you don't really need those older codes anymore. It's like they're outdated, they're outmoded. It's like an old machine, like your old VHS or your old tape decks. They're not necessary anymore. We've got higher, lighter, brighter machinery to work with. So we envelop angelic codes of light now, and they help you to remember the time and the space when you were in the angelic rays. And whatever code that you're aligning with now, that's higher and brighter and lighter than your older codes from before, they're getting lit up across the board of time. Mother Gaia has them all. She has everybody's. It's like they had to process through her door first, and then she encapsulated all of them so everybody could work. It's like when you have that, the player games, and everybody has to be tied in somewhere to the network so they can all play. They all have different monitors, but they're all playing together as one. So she has us all tied together in all of our frequencies. So when we want to light up certain codes, she can help us. She can lift them up for us. And we just have to turn the key in the slot and they're on. Magnetically, they appear. So when her linguistics come on board to clear, all of our energy is then clear. So we have been blasted with new energy codes on this earth, not only from Mother Gaia, but off-plane world as well. Higher beings of the sun have interjected their higher knowledge into everyone. And we're coming back to being at peace and at one. So these higher cellular light codes, they come in. They come to higher levels of being and they switch on. It's like a switch plate. You walked into your house again. You're looking around. It may be a little bit dark now. It's dusk outside and you need to turn the lights on. So you find the light switch and you flip it on. And voila, there is light in the room and you can see the space much better. So we learn how to encode our light through Mother Gaia's light. And then we turn on our light codes. So she's engineered them in the beginning. And then we learn that light language through her light cell angular frequency body of light. And then we can adapt our codes to her magnificent light. So she turns us on in the higher light when she's gained entry herself in her higher codes. So one by one, all of our lymph nodes are turned on to the light. The lymph nodes in time. There are many of us gathered on this particular timeline right now, exploding more neuron network encodings than ever before in this frequency of time. So everybody's being pre-aligned to the same frequency and timeline as our own. We're all coming on board now. We don't have to worry or be concerned as much about how do we implement these codes, these light cellular energy bodies of light right now at this particular moment in time. Because most of this is being done off planet, off world for you, for us. When we have more of a thrust, more of an energy movement on the planet, and thus in the singularity of time, we're going to feel more divine. We're going to be able to access our higher mind. There's just a few of us on the planet now with that ridiculous amount of energy core. It's pounding. It's gigantic to these beings of light. And they're already accessing their higher core. And they're leading the way. Okay, so Mother Gaia brings them in to her. She awakens their codes, their energy loads. She makes sure that they come online in the higher divinity line of time, in their angular cellular frequency bodies of light. And then they go through. It's like a rush of energy goes through the planet. She sets their world afire. She lights it up, in other words. And their codes all snap on at once, at one time. And they all light up in the cerebral cortices of their minds. And their physical bodies come online. So it's not just in the engineering of the software. The hardware has to be directionally guided as well. So now these beings of the higher light have reprocessed their own higher light through Mother Gaia's guidance system of light. So now these higher beings of light, they turn on everybody else's light. Okay, so it comes through the sun energy light beings, cells of light, directionally guided on to Mother Earth, and then into the higher light cell energy frequency bodies of light here on the planet, already deposited here from other timelines, across the board, all multidimensional frequencies of light from different venues of light. They open up their doorways and pathways and neural networks to understanding the light, in other words, understanding what is happening in the processes of the light here. And then they start to delineate time waves to other beings of light. And they are the recipient of the higher light. So there is that stepping down process. And then once those people have been awakened to their light, they in turn awaken others in their light. And it's this filtering down process. Because we can't do it all at once on your planet of light. It would just burst with too much light. So it's a very delicate process here of turning on your light. We can't do too much. Okay, the vibration would kill you, and the planet as well. We're that powerful in our higher light. So we turn on the cell lights within the angular cellular body of light, your frequency of light first. And then once it gets dispersed through the entire realm of light in which you are situated, your own energy turns on other people's light. And that is, we're speaking about their light cellular, angular frequency body of light. Everybody's light will get lit up at one time or space or another. Because that is the refractoring job that we're doing here to clean up the planet. And all of us are on board with you. We're here guiding you, lighting up your guidance systems of light. Because each of you has within the cells, the light cell angular body of light that lights up this planet. You already have the codes. They've already been instilled in you since birth and beyond for some of us. And then all the synapses in the brain turn on light. And the light cell energy body refractors that light out into the expanse of time. And the time waves carry it out. And we've all been turned on in the light. We've all refractored out our highest light. So it's this osmosis treatment. We come into lesser light. We refractor the higher light through Mother Gaia's planetary Earth grid system. We come into higher beings of light who are already here on the planet. They've already delineated their downline of time with higher light frequency, energy, angular bodies of light. We all meet with one source code, one energy source code of light. And when that is refractored out from the higher beings of light, we all get turned on in the light. So it's a triggering process in the higher light. We trigger each other's light to turn on very bright. Okay, so the highest light frequency, it's Mother Gaia's light, to the higher beings of light here already deposited on your planet. They light up their energy cell, their angular body of light, their frequency body of light. And then from there, they delineate to other people how to turn on their light. They refractor out their energy codes. All of the lymph nodes of time get lit up, and the energy frequency bodies of light are online. The synapses click on. Everybody's cerebral cortices are lit up in the brain. And then you understand time in such a way that you never were able to before. You were lit up from within side of the cellular angular membrane of light. And right now we're in the highest processing time possible for this planet, in this timeline, in this time and space continuum. And we're all coming on board with our highest light. We're feeling the difference in the light. So we're no longer speaking about things like we used to. We no longer attribute aspects of light as we used to. We have a greater understanding of the rhythms of light. We are a people of the light, and we came here to understand the processing from duller, darker matter light to the higher, brighter frequency of light. And we're in that higher momentum now as we speak. So turning on your highest light to the highest vibrational frequency of light is tuning into Mother Gaia, we like to refer to her, to her highest light first. And then we're given a rebirth. So for those of us who love Mother Earth, we're already halfway there. Then we just need a little bit more momentum to get us there, a little bit more of a dynamic push of energy. And we're there. And once she feels you and feeds you her energy, you're in. You're in her mix of light with her. You've mixed your light with her, in other words. And she brings you on board, and she loves you like a child, because she has just given birth to another light cell angular body being of light. So she holds your light, and she helps you to fill yourself with her highest light. It's a gargantuan task we've all taken on being here, but we've done it in the past, so we're doing it again here. And even in some dark of night, some who hold that vision of a darker light, she's still working with them. She's still producing antibodies of light to clear them, to heal them of their sickness, of their dis-ease in the light. She is a birther of truth. She does not have resistance to the light. She was born of pure light. She does not reside in the frequency of fear. She's working on it to clear all of that from us, from the humans, from the human beings of light who are not in their highest delineation of light. So, to reach your highest light, you have to refrain from being in your darker light. That means a transcendence motivation. That means an idea, a concept of light, that you can turn yourself to the light, that you can be very bright. There's an understanding there that you come to the light to transcend from the old frequency to the higher, brighter, lighter frequency of light. So you knew about this wavelength when you came in here. You knew how to turn on your highest light. You knew how to work with Mother Gaia. You knew how to work with the other planes of reference of light. In other words, other planetary references of light. You knew how to work with other beings of light. And now you're taking all of this information that was forwarded to you once upon a time in your ancient congru with the light, and you're drawing upon this frequency knowledge of time and time wavelength continuums of light. You're understanding some of the semblance of light. Other parts in the brain have been turned off. They need to be reworked. They need to be reprocessed in the higher light. And all of this will be shown to us when we've maneuvered ourselves into the higher light. So again, it's gaining access to certain parts of the brain that have been shut down or cut off from the genetic core, from the DNA. It's time now to explore that internet. It's an internet of being in the light. So coming into the light means turning your thoughts to a higher wavelength of time. It means divulging the truth to yourself because you once knew it. Now you went out, you shut and you locked that door and you left it behind. But you've come back. You've remembered. You have a place in the sun. You've remembered. You're home. So you've come home. You put the key in the lock, you turn it, you gain entrance into that room of light. You understand it in a higher, brighter way than you ever have before, being on your darker lines of time. So you're regurgitating the old information from the past lines of time. You're reteaching yourself. You're relearning. You're re-understanding what you've known all along. And the depth and breadth of your soul light, you are coming back to your higher light. Other beings of light are progressing along a lot further in their mind's eye than you, and now you're catching up to them. And all of this is about being above board with you. In other words, be honest, be truthful with yourself. Don't teach yourself the lies anymore. They hold you back in the old rhythm of time, in the old paradigm. This is the new wave of light. So you understand refractory new light takes you to higher heights, higher frequencies of light. So once you've reprocessed yourself in the higher light, your energy turns on your higher light. It's a process. It's a reworking of the lock system in the brain. And one key turns the lock. It holds the key for the next one. And like I'm just seeing from a physical point of view, from a 3D point of view, I'm seeing the lock system here, like the Trenton Canal or Welland Canal, and all the locks, that the boat has to wait until, like to get from one area to another, the lock fills with water, the boat has to wait, and then it comes up, the gates open, and it moves, the boat can then move along, and then it goes up another level, and the water has to fill up, and then the boat rises up in the water, gate opens, the boat goes through to another higher level, and so on and so on and so on. There are several of these systems of locks that we have to go through in the brain stem, in the cellular light angular body, the frequency of light. We have to go through a lot of retraining here. It's a big retraining program. It's not that we didn't know. We've lost the memory codes. We're getting them switched on by the higher light. And every time you have a new memory code enlisted in the higher light, it turns on like a key in the lock. Voila, the door opens. You can see it. You hear it. You vibrate with it. You know it. You understand it. You align with it. You get it. There's no mystery anymore. It's like, oh yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I knew that. Not a problem. Yeah, sure. Just had a little glitch there in the memory codes, Had to realign them. Now, we're good now. Thank you, we're good. And then you get acclimatized to that frequency of light, and that cell light understanding. And then there's another frequency wave that hits, and you get opened up again. Key goes in the lock, opens the door. The frequency of light pours through. Memory codes snap on. You get it. You get more. You understand more about yourself and your light cell energy frequency body of light. And you turn it on, and it lightens up, and there's more lights. And pretty soon you're going through all these different rooms of light in your brain. All the memory codes are snapping on, one right after the other. It's getting very fast now. There's no more delay in between the lighting up, the opening of the door, getting right to the core of your light cell energy body of light. And the more rooms that are lit up, the more understanding you gain. The more reference to the higher light you can sustain. In other words, you can hold that energy light now. And then you team up with others of the same frequency of light. You see them for what they are. They don't have to explain anything to you. They just speak in such a way that you get that. You go, oh, they're lit up. Their energy body's lit up. They get it. They're part of the ones who know, who have remembered. They're the advanced guard. I'm going to line up with them because we're going to charge each other's body, our frequency body cell of light, so that we'll understand even more. And then we gain more knowledge and more understanding and more light and more frequency of light. And we can align with higher beings of light than we could ever before. Our telepathic abilities come online. All of these wonderful new abilities are there, whereas before they had disappeared. But we're remembering now, and our light, cellular, angular body of light is there for us to see. And we light up everybody we come into contact with. And we're drawn to help people see it. We're drawn into the healing processes of light. We love to teach our understanding of our light. We love to refractor our light in higher spaces and times of light. And we love to feel our energy in the divine lines of time, rather than still being associated with the lower depths and lines of time. There's a converging of the light waves, the light cellular angular frequencies of light and the bodies of light, and they burst forward new truth. And it's wonderful. You kind of whipped up into this frenzy of light, like you're loving life now. You're loving the energetics that you're feeling. You're loving the effect that you're having on other people and in your own energy field. You feel lighter and brighter and happier, less resistant to the darker thoughts and ways of being. There's less resistance in you, in other words. If there's less resistance to the light, your angular body can feel the higher light. Resistance is a matter of time. It delineates which frequency and which divinity line of time you're on. That frequency of light that is not very bright, because everybody's frequency is in the divinity lines of time. But there is some of lesser light because there's more resistance. When there's less resistance, you have a higher light. If there's any consequence of being in higher frames of light, it is this. It's that you don't feel as much fright. When you are in fright, you are in resistance to your light. And we don't want any fields of light to not feel very bright. We want to feel that resistance to the light disappear as much as possible. Everyone is in a different root cause chakra alignment on this planet, on Mother Earth. There's a lot to be built up and a lot to be sold and a lot to be told about energy alignments in the root chakra, through the root chakra of light. There's a lot of delineations from other past timelines that flow through that chakra of light. We need to get it addressed and pull it up through into the higher spiritual aspects of light and turn that chakra, our lower light, the root chakra, into higher light. So we're going from the rebirth in the lower light to the higher light frequency chakras, where there is less resistance. And all of our resistance comes from time frames where there was not very much light. So of course, when you have a whole lot of light coming onto a planet where there's been a lot less light, there's fear and resistance, because it's like, what is it? I'm not acclimatized to this. I don't know what it's like. I don't know what it could do to me. Is it going to blow me up, burn me up, fry me? What's it going to do? Am I going to be able to survive this? Can I survive the truth within me? It's devastating to some, and it's holy to others, depending on where their light cell energy frequency body of light is resonating. So everything depends on the field of light that you resound with. Where is yours? What ability did you come in with? What is your line of time? Is it a lesser line or a higher line? So working through those frequencies gives you time and experience to explore all that is available to you and more. So being in less resistance to the light makes us all very bright, because we're all encoded with the light. Just depends on which determination you came in with, which level of light cell frequency, energy body did you appear as here in this time and space continuum of the human race. So all of this linguistic energy is to teach you and show you and divine to you, divination, how to work through the root chakra causal form of alignment or misalignments in the past energy lines of time to enlighten you to the higher divine mind. It's bringing the energy field up, out through the divine mind, the third eye mind. We rework the energy body. We rework the energy mind. And this is what is involved with getting you into your higher divine mind. It's a lengthy course of light. We've done this and have been doing this for a very, very long period of time in your earth years. So that elastic timeline, it moves back and forth as we're working with it. And it moves and refractors and retrains us over and over and over again until we see the light. We see the highest light that we can refractor in whatever time and space and timeline we happen to be in. So that is our delineation of the truth of the line of time working in your timeline. And now our spatial significance is being realigned. All of these above board fruits of the lines of time have been reawakened in your divine mind, and you're catching a glimpse of what the former lines of time did to you and your thought waves of time, and what the new ones can do and are going to do through the forward thinking of you and the third eye mind. And all of the heart chakra energy will flow through you, and your divination will be true. You will align with the highest cell light available to you. Thank you for coming through, and at this most opportune moment of light between us and you, and we delineate a new line of time, a new birthplace for the sequencing of thought in you. We are a divine line of time. We are resurrected in your divinity line, and we have reprocessed your higher frame of mind. God bless. We give you peace and rest, and we alleviate some of your distress. We love you always. You are most highly blessed. Thank you, and always feel your best. God bless. We give you peace and rest.